Hi, my name is Morgan, and I am the DM for the Butterflies of Fortune podcast.
Hey guys, my name is Charlie, and I'm playing Delphinium, known by all of her friends as Delphi. She is a nymph druid embodying the energy of botanical plants and herbs. She's wild, raised in nature, and many call her feral, which is only emphasized by her long hair made of vines and collected flowers and feathers. Her clothes are typically also made of collected materials like moss, sustainability queen, or stolen leathers that offset her sage green skin and large seafoam green cat eyes. She's also illiterate. Unless...
Hey, I'm Shelby, and I play Ceradoth, a tiefling artificer. She wears a black crop top with work pants, black goggles. She's red with dirty brown hair and tiny horns. She has tattoos across her chin, her nose bridge, and under her eyes.
Hello, I'm Andrea. I play Algol, a high elf druid. Algol has warm ivory skin and wears flowy red hair and pants with a fitted brown top with gold accents connected by matching red flowy sleeves. She has long wavy brown hair with gold jewelry adorning both her face and hair.
Hello, I'm Jordan. I play Percy, a gift sorcerer. They are a humanoid hippo who is currently 9 foot 8 inches, and they have grayish gold skin. They wear a dark green vest and pants with a dark green coat that has gold embroidery over it.
Hey guys, I'm Autumn. I play Walnut. He's a 6-foot-tall pink fairy paladin with short pink hair, glittered skin, and typically doesn't wear a shirt. What's a little strange about Walnut's appearance is his wings are only 5 centimeters long, despite him being 6 feet tall. Walnut is the embodiment of nostalgic childhood glitter, sparkles, and magic.
Lords, ladies, and honored ones who lay outside the binary, welcome one and all to your regular break from reality. I, the Grand Butterfly, am here to appease your minds with stories told never before. Now, I know that I usually tell more comedic stories, but this time, I believe I have created a story that will truly move you all. Unfortunately, I spent so much time on the climax of the story that I kind of forgot the details of how it begins. Worry not, though. I remember enough to give you all a summary of the events leading up to where I will start telling this story today. To make it quick, this story starts with 4 individuals from varying backgrounds being summoned for a job by a lesser noble in one of the main cities called Fishura. The job is for them to travel to the newly budding town of Sprigborough to uncover ruins of the old world that had reportedly been sighted there. Upon arrival, they quickly discovered that there was a scheme going on in town. Individuals were being kidnapped, and when the land defaulted to the city, it was being sold to Cordelia Cultivated, a major agricultural business based out of one of the main families from the city of Reyna. Through some investigation, with the help of Queen Cordelia, who does not stand with her family's business, our lovely protagonists find a vital piece of information. Gerald Canewin, the owner of the Sprigborough branch of Cordelia Cultivated, is not trying to expand the business, he is trying to find something. The legends of the old world were true, and one of the most powerful relics in existence, one of the Diamachia, was buried somewhere beneath the humble farming town. Not only were the party and Canewin both looking for this relic, however, but during their investigations, they discovered that an elite guild called the Barricadia also had a member in the city attempting to locate the Diamachia. In the following days, enough evidence was found to convict the mayor of Sprigborough for helping the kidnapping plot, and Canewin was just able to slip out of our protagonist's grasp, teleporting to an unknown location. After being invited to a dinner by one of the townsfolk, the party stumbled across a vital clue that led them straight to where they were looking for. With Quinn in tow, the group swiftly fell upon the crippled remains of the Temple of Titania, the goddess of the Feywild. The Diamachia, called the Crown of the Forest, sat atop the head of a dirt-covered warforged on a throne of polished green marble. In an instant, Quinn snatched the crown and disappeared in a cloud of arcane. The companion and friend that they had made in town was a member of the Barricadia who had been sent to hunt down the relic. Upon the relic leaving the head of the warforge, its long and active circuitry came back to life once more. It walked past the party before opening a gate to an unknown world and stepped through. 2 of our brave characters decided to follow suit, and the rest stayed behind. So there it is. That is all you need to know before we begin on this lovely evening. I also decided to add a 5th protagonist, so they will be getting introduced first. with all of that being said, we shall start off with the group that stayed behind in Sprigborough. Now, who's ready for a story?
Roots dig deep into the crop-covered plains where the corruption of enterprise has begun to sink in like a poison. The goddess's tree looms over a city ruled by her divine chosen, where the arcane frontier surges tirelessly forward. The Yaraksova's bare feet stand on polished marble as his eyes scan the onyx-colored beach of the city prided on opulence in grandeur. A fracture lays beneath the feet of the queen who sits upon a throne of secrets, ruler of a lawless city. The disgraceful acts committed by those in the underbelly of the leveled city are met with belligerent indifference from those above. In a world of rebirth that followed an era of arcana-infused natural disasters, the residents of Deasof lived in a state of peaceful bliss. This tranquility was quickly interrupted upon the revelation that the ruins of the past were the foundation for their present lives. The race is out for the resources and information of old. 5 adventurers become unwitting victims of fate as they are drawn together for a job, their meeting being the flap of a butterfly wing that causes a hurricane of consequences far into the future. Alright, so, I know I had told Percy about this, Walnut I had not told you, but as soon as the gate that seemingly led to a very large infinite library that Saradoth and Delphi stepped through last session, after that portal closed, immediately behind it you heard a loud sound that sounded exactly like what you guys teleporting in sounded like behind from that main door that you came through. What are you guys wanting to do?
Percy pulls his gun.
Percy pulls his gun. Okay.
I think
Great
Walnut
introduction.
would be freaked.
Yeah.
The freak out.
Yeah.
Can we curse?
Yes.
Okay. I think Walnut would be freaked the fuck out.
That's very fair.
I think you'd probably be able to see him like shiver.
Yeah.
Can we curse?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, Saradoth and Delphi are gone.
Yeah, Walnut doesn't like that for sure.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Sure.
Don't know.
Are you trying to do an Arcana check on the portal that was just opened?
I want to know where the fuck my friends went. And I got a 24.
Okay. Do you want to do Arcana or History? Because I'll give you different information depending on which one.
Ooh. History.
Okay.
Which is a... Oh, that's worse, but it's still 21.
Still a 21. That more than seals it. So, you, especially having been from another dimension, and at the very least reading up some on like interplanar travel, know that there are 12 major dimensions, and you do know that one of them, just given the context clues, is called the library, which is a plane of existence that is an infinite library of all of the books that have ever and will ever be written in any time and in any space. And you believe that what you just witnessed was that.
God, now I gotta find someone who can planeswalk.
What about the dragon?
Tiny?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Tiny could planeswalk. He might know information about it, but I don't think Tiny could planeswalk. Can I pull Tiny
I think you have a
out?
lot of faith in Tiny.
Wait,
Yeah.
didn't we send Tiny away?
Tiny is chilling back at the Dancing Dragon right now with Taliesin.
Oh, is he?
Mhm.
Shit.
They're making drinks back for the town.
Okay. Alright, can I do a perception check to see what...
Yeah, I can go for it. Question for you now, Andrea. Are you trying to be stealthy on your way in?
Yes.
Okay, then go ahead and roll an opposed stealth check for me.
What is your reaction to trying to be stealthy and then immediately a huge sound comes out?
Yeah.
I got a 15.
I got a 23.
Red. You don't see anything. Just seemingly same room that you guys left from. That you can see that
I'm
there's
looking
like...
into the room with the teleporter?
What?
I'm looking into the room with the teleporter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Walnut would be stable enough to do a perception check.
Very fair. Well, at that point then, Algol, I'll switch to you. What are you doing at this moment? As you sort of see the tail end of this very powerful spell get cast and then seemingly appear, you sort of dodge into the side shadows of the room that you're currently in as the magical light begins to fade away, as you can catch that they don't sense you, but you can see this 9'2" GIF individual as well as a 6' tall pink fairy guy.
I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna get as close as I can without them seeing me, and I'm gonna like kind of like listen and like without making much noise.
Right. So what are you two doing?
I think Walnut's definitely gonna ask Percy what he thinks happened, besides the fact that they just walked into a hole.
Percy's gonna cast message.
Yeah. Or the question.
I just heard a sound from the other room of someone teleporting in and I can't see them.
I see the little sketched out right now.
So can we just assume that everything from now on is message talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all going just in like a mind link essentially.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Do you know what that was? The teleporter? Do you see anything?
No, I don't see anything.
Are you trying to see anything?
Are
you opening your eyes?
I am, but I'm more focused on the fact that everyone just disappeared into a hole.
Yeah, I think they went to another realm.
Why?
Delphi, I don't know. Ceridon, I mean, did you expect much else?
No.
Percy would just like to patrol the room, I guess.
Yeah. You want to walk around, you sort of walk back into that main room that you guys had teleported into, and you still see the two closed doors on either side.
Other creatures also don't have advantage on attack rolls against one unseen.
Yeah.
We just see doors? The other
You
door?
see the other two doors. So you guys, when you spawned in to this antechamber, you saw the big doors, which you guys immediately went through. There's also the two flanking doors on either side of the chamber that you didn't go through before.
Okay, I'd like to peek into the rooms and see if there's anything.
You sort of push it open, and the previous main door creaked extremely loudly. This one also similarly creaks with old age and just the general detritus that's sort of scattered around it and sort of moves as you open it up. But you definitely see significantly smaller rooms that you can see that it was very thematically oriented around this green marble, golden filigree ornamentation. But you see are you wanting to peek behind both doors really quick or just?
Yeah, I'm looking for people.
Yeah. You don't see any people, but you do see two stretching hallways that are about 40 feet long on either side going out. And you see that there's some old paintings that have sort of gone dark with age, as well as lining the sort of what would be considered the front of each one. So the side that the main
The front of each door or the front of each hallway?
The front of each hallway.
Okay.
So if you're oriented where you guys teleported was the entrance, the back end, you can see that there's several pillars of this goldenish green marble coming up, and you can see a few items on those.
Okay, I guess Percy will slip into one of the hallways and...
Yeah. Go for it. You walk up, and are you wanting to follow?
Yeah, Walnut is gonna be basically on your ankles, and you can kind of tell that he's using you, the 9-foot hippo, as a shield.
As you're behind me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool. Are you also wanting to follow?
Yes, I think I'm gonna follow them and see where they go. Without being noticed.
Go ahead and make another stealth roll for me.
Did you say there are doors down these hallways, or they're just hallways with it?
They're
Pillars.
just hallways with pillars.
Okay.
I got an 11.
11, what's your passives?
Perception, 13.
I know it's way higher than that, yeah. Okay.
Um,
Walnut.
You do not have a passive perception.
Walnut's passive perception is 11. It is 11, so you both...
Write that down.
you both clock that there's somebody following you.
Okay.
And if-
Percy will just keep walking.
Walnut's gonna whip his head around.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, Walnut, you look behind and see the individual you saw come into the courtroom. Not at the same time as Quinn Cordelia, but like around the same time.
Can I do a whole person?
You want to? Yeah, on which one?
I guess I'll do it to the person that turned over to see me.
Yeah,
So
that
they
would
can't
be
really, like...
Yeah, go for
Can
it.
you speak when you do a whole person?
I believe you can. Let me double check that really quick.
Walnut's already paralyzed. That's necessary.
Walnut.
I guess
has
the
a
real
note.
question would be, can you speak in your mind? Because that's how we've been speaking.
Yeah. I will say you would notice that like as soon as like even though you're listening, you just sort of see them like looking at each other
Yeah.
Can Walnut speak right now? Or is he held?
and speech.
Hey, Morgan, can we
you
get a
cannot speak.
long rest when we're just standing there?
You will need to make what's the saving throw for hold person?
I'm not sure.
I believe it's wisdom or charisma. Hold person. Yeah, so you need to make a wisdom saving throw, Walnut. Which I do know is something that you are proficient in.
Hold on. Walnut got a 10.
Yep. As far as I'm aware, that's far below your spell save DC, though I haven't written that down yet, which I'll need to get with you afterwards about. But yeah, Walnut, as you turn around, you do see this individual, but as soon as you do, you feel a magical force gripping you, completely preventing you from moving and or speaking.
All right. Walnut's terrified. See it in his face.
Would Percy have noticed that Walnut is just...
You said you kept walking. Would you turn around?
Well, no, but I don't know if I would, like...
You would hear Walnut stop moving.
Okay, then yeah, I'll turn around.
Yeah. And you also, you see...
Am I still in the
the-
shadows?
What? So you are visible at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, you see, like, sort of around Walnut, you see this individual.
Alright. Can I, like, go in and try to say, like, who are you? Like, who are you?
Who are you?
Can I Misty step behind her and try and grapple her?
Yeah.
Wait, are you still holding
for
your
it.
gun at this point?
I would probably put it away right as I Misty step.
Okay. Please don't shoot me.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and make a athletics check. Versus you can either roll a strength or dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Nat 20. Plus 4, so 24.
Got a 20.
Yep. You teleport behind, and though Algol, you generally have your wits about you and are pretty cautious
an
of your
18
area.
also. For wild magic.
Wonderful. There's not a whole lot you can do about a 2,000 pounds, 9 foot.
1,000
pound. My apologies.
Excuse you.
But a very large individual just suddenly teleporting right behind you and then wrapping their very large arms around you. But yeah, so you now have this individual grappled.
Who are you? Why are you here? Did you steal our friends?
What? Who are you talking? First of all, can you, let go of me?
No, who are you?
Fine, I'll introduce myself. You can let go of me, though.
No.
I won't introduce myself until you let go of me.
Great. We're
Okay.
stuck.
Well, I guess I like hugs anyway, so.
And we have come to an impasse. You guys sit here until you rot of old age.
Walnut still can't do anything, right?
Is that a concentration spell?
Yeah, it is concentration. You technically haven't done damage, though.
Okay, you mentioned other people, so you're traveling with other people.
Well, obviously. You saw us in the courtroom.
I didn't know you were traveling together, though. See, before I came here, I was in a house. This very nice old lady told me where I should head, so I headed there, and now I'm here, and you are here, so there I am.
You have some of her pie?
I didn't. It was very sad.
Good.
I am here now, and you're here, and your friend here is... Hi. Don't be alarmed. It's okay. I won't hurt you. I was just being precautious.
Question, do you want to drop your whole person? Or you still
Yeah.
Okay, right. So you
You can talk now.
you feel that magical hold.
What?
Drop.
The hell is happening? Who are you? I don't like you. You seem really mean.
Am I still getting hold?
Yes! You haven't answered
Fine,
any of my questions!
Percy, what is happening?
Right.
Percy, please protect me.
Oh gosh.
I'm holding on to them. What more do you want me to do?
And you're holding on very tight.
Well, answer my questions, and maybe I'll let you
I
go.
can barely talk because you're really.
I am doing this.
Do you know where Delphi went?
Delphi.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's.
It's like a little naked, foresty looking girl.
a naked
She's the one that
force.
looked like a tree.
Ah.
And then the other one that had horns and a tail.
So you're referring to your friends from the court?
Yes.
I do not know where they went. Actually.
Okay, who are you?
Okay, I need to introduce myself. I am Algol. That is all you get.
That's a weird name. So why?
Uncle?
Uncle. Okay, it's Algol.
Uncle, so do you...
You know what?
Why are you in this hallway? Do you know why we're in this hallway? I don't really know what's happening. Some people went through a portal. Do you know anything about that portal? I just looked up and then there's a portal and a robot and everyone was gone. And this has never happened before and I'm really anxious.
Wow. That's a lot of anxiety coming from your side. Okay, it's understandable. I have no idea what's going on, if I'm completely sincere. But we are here and we need to find a way out of here. So I recommend, first of all, for you to let me go and for us to find a way together. So
Well, I'm gonna assume the way out of here is the way we got in.
Well, we're not going in that way. Just listen to me. Let's go forward.
What about the robot? Oh, he's gone.
The robot?
There was a robot man and he told us that he was a venerated one and that we had to bow to him and it was a whole thing and he was really mean.
Well, that's an experience I was not prepared for. Anyways, can I be let go now?
No. Why are you here?
Look, I'm just gonna tell you this. I am here because I have something that I need to get done, and that is what I will say now, because I do not know anything about you guys. So
What do you
I think
need to
guys
get done?
owe me an introduction.
My name is Walnut. What do you need to get done?
Walnut. First of all, very nice to meet you, and you are, since you're holding me very tight, the least you could give me is a name.
Percival?
We call him Percy.
No, we
Percy. Percy. Hi, Percy. Nice to meet you. Anyways,
He's a gift.
a gift. Percy. Walnut. Hi. Can I be let go now?
don't. No, you still haven't told us why you're here.
Well, I am here.
Just the basic thing of who sent you
Okay,
was sort of what.
here in business with Her Highness.
Did she get the letter?
The letter, yes, she did.
The letter that got sent to the Grand Radiance was the letter that had the runes that were assigned to the different Diamachia. That you could only 5 of them were on there, but the one that was given to Cainwyn from an unknown source, basically saying that he needed to tear up the town to find the crown of the forest that you guys now know was down here.
Okay. Slow.
It's more information.
And I will say, now that you guys have found where it was, you realized just how dangerously close he got to finding it. Because the Wynn family was the property that was about to get sold to Cordelia Manor.
Okay, I'll drop you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, ow. Alright. So, you guys wrote the letter, or how did you know about the existence of this letter?
We were the ones that found it.
You found it. Where did you find it?
Percy blew up a door.
Gerald
And then found it.
Cainwyn's office.
Okay, so
I think the door was unrelated.
So you found it in someone's office.
Yes.
Whose door was blown up.
Technically, it wasn't just a door, it was the side of a building.
It may have been more than a door.
Oh, well, you guys had quite the time, I see.
Yes.
Who blew up said door? Or
Me.
Percy.
You. Okay. Good to know. I am not, I'm not gonna hurt you or anything. Okay, we're being friendly here, so no more blowing things up.
I
Okay,
cannot promise anything.
oh.
I literally cannot promise anything.
Okay. So how many of those explosives do you have?
None,
Okay.
but all.
Good. Anyways, other than that, well, yeah, that is my business here. Now, I would like to know, how did you guys end up here? What are you guys doing? How did you guys
You
get
were also
separated?
looking for the Diamachia. Are you sure you read the letter that we sent to the Queen?
You remember, briefly from a conversation you had with the Grand Radiance that she was recently made aware, upon coming to the Grand Radiance, that there is a set of magical relics called the Diamachia that just exist in the world. As far as she was aware, they weren't a present thing until this letter arrived, and she was tipped off to the fact that apparently not only were these things in play in civilization, but that they were sort of underlying tones as to the power structure of the world. So if you had access to these things, you were among the upper echelon of the people of this world.
Wow. Yes. So that's why you're here? You're looking for it.
Yes.
Yes.
And where are your friends? Separated in the portal.
I don't know. I have no idea. I was really hoping you would know that, and you have no idea either.
Did she tell you about the robot thing
No.
with the Diamachia?
No. What robot? Is it
Did
the
you tell her about the robot thing? Okay.
The Queen does not know about the venerated ones.
Oh, yeah, so apparently there are these robots guarding the Diamachia. And you know who Emily Cordelia is?
Yes.
Her niece stole the Diamachia and teleported away, and then the robot got angry and tried to grab her, and then when the Diamachia left, the robot got up and created a portal to the library dimension, and our friends went in there.
Which is why you can't trust people.
I will say, upon hearing that, Algol, go ahead and make a history check for me.
History check.
Yeah.
Oh god. 9.
9?
Yeah.
You have at the very least heard of
Okay.
this individual that they're talking about, just because in general, working for the Queen, you just sort of know, have been around the Council of Principalities at the very least and sort of know some basic information on them and like who their family is and such. And you would just know that Queen Cordelia was the niece of Emily Cordelia, who has one of the seats on the council. And you would also know that she was just like not a well-known figure throughout Reina, as in the fact that like everybody would know who she is, but she is a relatively appraised individual in Reina because of her spellcasting abilities.
She ran out with what did you say?
The Diamachia.
Diamachia.
The thing you came here to find.
Interesting.
Alright, now if you're not going to try to kill us or steal from us, I'm gonna see what's in the rest of this place.
Okay, I say we should stick together for the time being.
And I will say you guys do also recognize the person is from the courtroom, but also upon retrospect you do recognize that this is the other person that was in the painting with you all that was given to you by Carlin.
Percy doesn't care.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah. So
Percy just lost his friends,
Yeah.
and he doesn't feel like making new ones.
Very fair. So in the leftmost chamber, as you guys sort of scatter through, there's a few like worn down items on some of these podiums that sort of have placards that just sort of talk about like the history and the significance of these different items, most of which are wrecked beyond belief with the hundreds and hundreds of years that have passed since these things probably originally got put here. But in this leftmost room you find two things. One, you find a little leather pouch of just some little, if you like open it up and look inside, you see some little like balls of fur in there. On the left side you also find a small stone that is just, the only way to describe it is you pick it up and realize that it is like the perfect rock. Like you pick it up and it just has that extremely smooth tumbled texture, not in a man-made sense, but in a this thing was probably tumbled around in a river for decades upon decades before whoever happened across it pulled it out and thought it significant enough to hold on to.
Can I pull out a ball of fur?
Yeah. What you want to do with that said ball of fur? It's just a little like brown ball of fur.
Can I do some sort of check to figure out what it is?
Yeah, go for it. Make an Arcana check.
That one.
It's a ball of fur.
Percy snuffs it.
You sniff it, it smells like a wet animal.
Ew. Can Percy poke it and see if like it's a rolled up animal?
Yeah, you poke it. It's about like the size of a dime in like diameter. Yeah, it makes a weird noise when you poke it, but doesn't seem to do anything else.
Does it seem like it's just fur straight through?
Is
It feels oddly pliable.
Can Percy just like... What the fuck was that working?
It's a weird noise that came from the inside of this little fur ball thing.
Did it pull apart?
Nope.
Can Walnut do it?
It doesn't budge a lot as you pull it. It just like sort of moves. It has a similar consistency to like if you try and pinch like skin and pull it apart.
Ew, Percy just like... Is something in that? Just like speaking to the ball of fur. Is something...
Is this like
Hello?
what hears a who?
It's a
Can Walnut also do an Arcana
It
check?
doesn't do anything. Yeah, go for it.
Percy would like to start putting it into
Walnut got a 14.
Walnut got a 14. Walnut would probably inherently have seen some like sort of magic like this from the Feywild, in which like
What the fuck?
a creature could like hypothetically be like compacted and put into like a little small.
Percy, you don't eat that. That's a person.
I'm just trying to
Specifically
intimidate it.
animals.
It's an animal.
I'm just trying to intimidate it into showing
You're already
itself.
intimidating. You're 9 feet tall.
I'm just standing there, like, just like arms crossed, just observing. I'm like, what?
Then Percy roll an intimidation check to try and scare the animal out.
Sure.
21?
21? You put it in your mouth. That's the question that I'm gonna ask, Jordan.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I try to stop? Is that actually?
I'm just like,
As soon as it touches your tongue, I need you to roll a D.
no,
for me.
I'm just like holding. I don't.
I'm gonna need you to roll a D8.
Percy!
That's the thing.
I didn't want it to touch my mouth. 6.
6? As soon as this thing touches your, like, gets close enough to your face region, the ball rapidly expands and a giant badger latches on your face and just starts going and just starts clawing. I'm gonna need to make some attack rolls.
Walnut's trying to jump on the person and get it off.
Okay. This thing seems extremely confused and seems like your intimidation works, so even though it is latched to your face, it is not able to penetrate past your skin.
Okay.
This thing is just rapidly clawing at
Can
you.
Percy just do like a strength roll?
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
That was cool. Saving throw or strength roll?
Just raw strength. You could do athletics
Oh,
if you would like to.
yeah, sure, we'll do that. 7?
7? It's pretty stuck on your head. It's sort of like latched around the back of your head.
Can I try to calm the animal and take it from Percy's face?
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and make an animal handling check.
A what? I'm sorry?
Animal handling check?
Oh, okay. 8?
8? This thing seems pissed. It is not wanting to let go as you sort of are like reach your hands and are like trying to take it. But you're also having to like stretch up super high because of how tall Percy is. So it's like you can't really get the proper leverage to like yank it off. But,
I think at this point Percy would have stumbled around enough that he has fallen over.
and as soon as you fall over, it like scampers off of you and just looks back and just goes.
Oh my god.
Hey, buddy. Didn't mean to scare you that much.
And sort of like sits down into like a sort of listening posture.
Percy
Ugly
will
animal,
offer
and I think it's rude that you attacked my friend.
Percy will offer it a cookie.
Oh, it'll for sure start nomming down on this cookie.
Okay. Does it seem more friendly now?
Yeah, it's sort of chilled out.
Can I try and, like, touch it?
Yeah, you can pet it. It
It
just sort of
lets
sits
me?
there. Yeah, this giant badger.
Hey, buddy. You want to be friends? I'll give you more cookies.
It starts like sniffing around, and you're like, it starts sniffing your bag.
Is that a yes? Oh, give
It'll
him
just
another
open its
cookie.
mouth, yeah. It'll sort of like crawl up you and just like lay on top of the bag. Brad,
Awesome.
you now have control over a giant badger.
Can I look at the other balls of fur?
Yeah.
Do they all make sounds?
Yeah, they all make sense.
Okay. I'm keeping this. I'll pocket the pouch.
Brad.
Does anyone else want the stone?
Yeah. I can hold on to it, I guess.
Do you want to do a check on the stone?
Yeah, I'll do a check on the stone.
Yeah. Go ahead. Do an Arcana roll.
22.
22? Rad. You sort of get the vibe that this stone, however it may be, was in a weird innate sense blessed by how it was tumbled, that it is such a perfectly rounded rock that it just sort of brings about like a peace and like centrality to whoever holds it. Mechanically speaking, you get a +1 to all your ability checks.
Cool.
So that, for warning, does not scale with proficiency or anything. That's just a flat +1 to everything.
Cool.
Does that include skills and saving throws?
Not saving throws, but just like skills.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
So that does not go to like your flat ability scores or anything. That's just the checks. As you guys head to the other room, very similar situation in which a large majority of these podiums have relics that seem to have decayed and been destroyed with time and wearing. But you do find a 1 foot long cylinder of metal with a little button on it.
Walnut's pressing button.
Did you say it was a giant honey badger?
Yeah, just giant badger.
You were gonna press.
Yes. But
Are you just like
what
leaving
did you
it?
think about?
Are you just leaving it
Walnut
like
just pressed it.
on the podium and just pressing the button?
Yep.
Nothing happens. As far as you can tell.
Walnut thinks that's rude. That there's a button and nothing happens when you press the button.
Percy can pick it up and press the button.
You can't.
Can Walnut do an Arcana check?
You try and pick this thing up and it does not move.
Except a little rod.
Yeah, it's a rod.
Percy will press the button again.
Yep. It suddenly like you're like hauling on this thing, trying to pull it off, and you click the button, and like with the force you're pulling it off, you like stumble backwards a few steps because of how hard you were pulling on it, and then all of a sudden to have that like thing that you're essentially pulling back on suddenly break free is a sort of shock to your system. But yeah.
Here you go.
Alright, Walnut's grabbing this thing. Cylinder, metal. It's heavy, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be heavy.
No, it's pretty light.
Walnut's just staring at it. Can Walnut do an Arcana check?
Yeah.
Walnut got a 12.
You click the button and it doesn't move in space. You click the button and again, and then all of a sudden it does. That's about all you get.
Okay. Is there anything on the podium that was under the cylinder?
It's just it's a rod that's like about this big.
Is there anything else?
Nope.
Just the rod?
Yep. In this room, yeah.
Cool. Have we explored everything?
Mm-hmm. This is the chambers that you guys have found. You can tell that like behind where the teleportation circle led to, that there was some like probably some more rooms, but it's all been long collapsed.
Collapse.
Yeah.
Can I take like a look around the room to see if anything changed? Like if I notice anything changing?
It's pretty much all the same. Once you look around, it's all like this very much like weathered green marble that has been sort of scuffed up and muted with time, as well as like this golden decorations and stuff that has been sort of tainted, and like its shine sort of removed. So like, I mean, you technically could like try and strip some of this like trimming and stuff that is plated in golds, but like that would probably take a long time and not yield a whole lot. But as far as like the actual structural building itself, you guys have pretty much explored everything that there is to explore.
Percy will go scan on the teleporter again.
Okay. What's you two doing?
Well, I guess we will have to go back to the teleporter. I wasn't expecting it to be done here. Surprising.
There wasn't anything else in the main hall, was there?
No.
Okay.
You get that that hall in particular was like, for lack of a better purpose, a throne room for the venerated one, in which it just sort of sat and existed as an entity for people to come in and admire and worship.
Okay. Well, Percy wants to go talk to Tiny, so.
Okay, right. Well, you guys have the spell slots to dump into this thing is the question.
How many do we need again?
You needed 5.
Oh, that's
How many
great.
spell slots do you guys have?
5, 6, actually.
Okay, I have 2.
I have 2.
So you guys do one? You guys do one and I'll do this.
Okay.
Alright, Walnut's just gonna do bless.
Yeah,
I
cool.
guess they can use.
So you guys start to cast your arcane magic as it gets sucked into this concentric circle of runes and symbols of these things that you have come to learn hold so much power as you vroom and teleport back up into the bear cave, in which feels like you were just at, but also feels like you were at so long ago.
We're back in the cave, right?
Yep, you guys are back in the bear cave.
Are the bears there?
Bears are gone.
Walnut's gonna run out of the cave
Well,
and go to the dancing dragon.
technically, I have my bear with me.
You have, yes, so there is a bear, but
There's
you can
a
notice that
bear.
it is a different bear.
It is my bear.
That's a different looking bear.
No, his name is Mika.
You have a bear?
Well, yeah, he's my family. It lost-
Walnut's outside, so Walnut's not listening to this.
Percy's just gonna start walking.
Past the bear in think second.
Yeah.
Walnut probably just assumed it was one of the bears.
So you 3 walk back. Are you wanting to follow these 2?
Yeah, I'll just
Right.
follow them.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys are going back to the Dancing Dragon. Cool. As you go in, only just this short time later since you guys left, I would say it's probably been like 3-ish hours since you were last here talking to him. After sort of like that brief excursion at the court, there was that party, and you guys went to the Wynn household at Hazelwood Farms. You guys go back to see that the party has not stopped since you guys left. There is a plethora of the town members in here, all of which are extremely imbibed with various sorts of alcohol. You see Taliesin is still behind, drunk as he usually is, just sort of mage handing drinks out to the different patronage. And you see that Tiny is also behind the counter, just sort of mixing shit up.
Percy goes, Tiny, Taliesin, room, now.
What are...
Taliesin!
Tiny sort of like sits back up on his paws and is like, are we in trouble? What did we do?
Talison's in trouble. I need your information, Tiny.
Taliesin sort of like, you see is like in the middle of the conversation and sort of like ignored you, like, oh, we need to go. And then as soon as you say Talison's in trouble, they just sort of like looking like, the fuck did I do? I've been sitting behind you.
Taliesin!
Get upstairs.
Okay.
We don't want to
Jesus
talk
Christ.
about this in front of everyone.
And you see that they'll like wave their hand, spawning this mirror image of them. Everything was chill, everything was fine, we've been having a party, and all of a sudden you two come back with a new person, and you can see that they like clock that Delphi and Saradoth are gone,
And Quinn.
and they're like, the fuck is going on? So they'll like wave their hand, summon that mirror image, who will start to like serve the bar for them, as they sort of like scoop Tiny up onto their arms and
Does
start
Tiny get
making
jealous
their way.
from the honey badger?
Who the fuck is that?
I found him in a bag.
You found him in a bag?
Yeah.
How big was the bag? How did that fit in a bag?
He was that big.
Bag
I tried to eat him.
You tried to eat the bag or?
The badger.
Okay. Why would you try and eat something that you don't know the source of?
Intimidation.
Did it work?
Yes.
Okay. well, who am I to argue with that? And Taliesin just looks extremely confused. They're like, what the fuck were you guys doing? As they sort of like walk up to their room and like
Okay.
wave you guys in after.
So we went to a cave, and then there was a circle.
We're not in the room yet. And you guys walk up the staircase to a room that you two know as relatively familiar, though Taliesin doesn't know that you find it familiar. And you walk into a room that is sort of up above the general like bar area of the tavern where food and drink is stored.
Is my bear coming?
What?
Is my bear?
Your bear is outside.
Oh,
Your bear
okay,
could
okay.
not fit through the front door.
But Percy can.
Well, Percy can.
Percy can.
Yeah, he'll sort of like walk up and sort of like pull up a chair from his writing desk and sort of sit down in it and be like, "You're more than welcome to sit on the bed." What happened? Where's Saradoth and Delphi?
What is your connection with Quinn?
She's my friend.
What do you know about her?
I know that she's from Reyna, and I know that she paid me to come from Reyna to serve this bar here. And that she mostly funds the bar and then comes and still pays for drinks, which I think is kind of weird, but...
You don't know anything about her history or connections she might have?
I mean, she's a part of the Cordelia family. She has a lot of connections, I'm assuming. Generally, very rich people do have a lot of connections.
You ever seen her wrists?
I can't say that I have. She always wears that cloak, and she generally wears, like, longer dress shirts. Why?
Because she's part of the Vericadia.
Yeah, right. Her? No. Where is she?
She just stole a powerful magic item and disappeared. And then two of our other friends disappeared.
This is
Through
a
a
funny
portal.
joke. Did she just, like, get drunk and you left her in an alleyway somewhere?
No.
No, she's gone.
What do you mean she's gone?
Oh, so we were in a
She
cave.
stole something and left. This is her cloak.
We were in a cave, and then we used spells to portal
You
down
see
this
how
thing
it's
with
blue
the
now?
rays
Okay.
from.
I need you to be very specific. What happened?
We were hunting something called the Diamachia. There's one in town that we were looking for. We ended
Are you
up...
talking about that child's tale?
Yes, it's real. We found one. Quinn was with us. She stole it and left. She teleported away.
She's not that kind of person. She's... Are you sure it was Quinn?
Pretty sure. Unless she's been disguised for the past day and a half.
Okay. Where did she go?
We don't know.
Okay, so where Saradoth and Delphi, did they go with her?
They went to the library dimension.
With a robot.
There's a giant robot that guards...
The what?
There are giant robots that guard the Diamachia. It opened a portal and they went into it. As far as I can tell, it's the library realm, which is why I wanted Tiny.
Okay. I need you to be very forthright. Am I really drunk right now and not understanding you, or did you just tell me that the childhood legend of the Diamachia is real and that the person that I've presumed is my friend has apparently been deceiving everybody and took one of the relics and then left?
Would you like to sober up and hear it again?
You see they sort of like walk over and open up their cabinet and take a small bottle of like that concoction that they gave Walnut like 3 or 4 days ago when Walnut got super drunk, the one that like sobers you up, and you see that they just downed the whole thing. Take another deep breath. So what you said is true. So Saradoth in Delphi, how the hell did they travel to a different plane?
The robot opened a portal.
Are you talking about like the
robots that guard
the Warforged?
Yes.
That is supposed to... So those are also real.
Yes. Kind of scary.
Okay.
Apparently have magic.
This is a lot of information to take on. Okay. So they're just gone. Do they have a way back?
No.
Why the fuck would they go through the portal then?
You met both of them,
Okay,
right?
Ceradothan makes sense. Delphi, 50-50. I expected better. Okay.
Does Percy have to cast wild magic
Sure.
for the teleportation?
For the Misty Step?
The teleportation.
No.
Okay.
Because it's a lot more of like, rather than you casting a spell, it's you sort of like just pumping raw magic energy into this thing.
Okay.
So you're not, in essence, you're not trying to control your magic. You're just sort of letting it flow out, and the circle is taking care of the rest. Okay. Do you know why she took it?
Because she's part of the Vericadia and they want power? I don't... Did she say anything when she was disappearing, or...
When she was disappearing.
When she went into the portal? Did she say something to us, or...?
You saw her mouth the words "I'm sorry" before she teleported out.
And did the robot say anything? Okay.
It was just really pissed that its relic got stolen.
And she has a key tattooed on her wrist.
It's all the members of the Vericadia do. Not specifically on the wrist, but it's just like that's their calling card or whatever. So, I mean, what's next? Like,
I wanted to see if you knew anything.
no, I just got asked to be here to be a bartender. I'm a good ass fucking barkeep.
You don't know anything that might have led to her wanting to hire you?
I mean, I got imprisoned a few days ago for an alleged connection to the Vericadia that I don't have.
What did they ask you about?
They just asked me if I had a connection. There was a weird robed lady with a like sackcloth hood thing that tried to get into my head, and it was all weird. But like,
I guess they might have been asking about Quinn.
what? Maybe. I don't know. I got released after Captain Sclerosa sort of came in and dealt with things, because I mean, I'm not necessarily like super close with the captain of the town guard, but like, you know, sometimes people come in late at night, needing a drink, and just need to talk. So like, I'm a little more privy to some things about a lot of people's lives. So sometimes people feel like they owe me favors. Other than that, I can't.
Tiny, do you know anything about the library dimension?
You see, somebody's like, I mean, like, I'm familiar with its existence as, like, a thing. What are you wanting to know?
Anything.
I mean, it's...
Is it dangerous?
The greatest... I mean, knowledge can technically be considered the most dangerous thing ever, and it is a plane that has all of knowledge. So, like, innately no, unless you piss off its god, but...
Who's its god?
You see Tiny sort of sits back for a second. It's like, I believe Rycius is the god that is over it. But, like, he's sort of just eccentric and a little crazy, so it's sort of hard to make him upset most of the time. They'll just sort of like shoo you out
What is his species?
of
God?
I mean, like, is he...
God.
Oh, are those just, like,
Yeah, they're just
entity?
yeah, they're just, sort of like supreme beings that sort of lord over the plains.
Like his appearance?
Oh, I mean, I don't know what he looks like.
Okay, well, how does know that much about gods?
You would know about one. You would know about Titania, who is the
Yeah,
goddess
no,
of
Walnut knows about
the Feywild, and she's pretty, like, I mean, she looks like very much Fey, but with, like, very fair skin, very long, like, red hair, some very, like, sharp pointed fingers, not fingers, features, with, like, very long ears, and very much dressed in, like, natural clothing made of, like, amalgams of various, like, hides of different animals and, like, branches and trees and stuff. I can't say that I know. I mean, I would like to visit, as you can tell. I like books, but I can't say that I've ever been there and know a whole lot about it. I don't know a whole lot about the other planes.
Do you know anything about dimension portaling?
Once again, I know of its existence, and I know it's a pretty hard thing to pull off, and like you'd have to be a pretty powerful magic user to be able to even attempt to portal between the dimensions.
Tellison, do you know anything about who Quinn might have met up with while she was here?
No, she spent most of her days here.
Didn't talk to anyone?
Me?
She give you like any letters to send off or anything?
No.
Do you know anything about the Barricadia at all?
I mean, I know of its existence. I know that it's a very dangerous group of people.
Can I do an insight to see if he's hiding something?
Yeah, go for it.
This is great. 8.
He seems extremely concerned for his friend.
Okay.
And what?
Yeah, go for it.
So Walnut got a 18.
Same thing, you can definitely tell that there's a genuine concern, but there's also an underlying layer of concerned that their friend is wrapped up in something, but also just a fear of this organization as a whole. And what that means if Quinn is wrapped up in whatever the fuck it is.
Percy, like, what do we do?
Find the Barricadia?
Can we call Mistress Genevieve of Crack?
We can get Milton in here. Is Milton out drinking?
Oh yeah, Milton's down the bar.
Percy will just message Milton and be like, hey, can you come upstairs?
Yeah, he'll pop up. Sort of
Which
walk
I
up.
guess to him is just like a pair of hands just
Yeah.
signing. Percy actually mage hands
Yeah.
down there and
Well,
just
like, you can like still psychically talk.
No. Percy mage hands down there and just sign something to him.
I love it. Milton pops up. Is very like dapperly dressed in like traditional butler attire. Relatively tall and like thin-ish individual with very much like slicked back hair and sort of like the like stereotypical like thin little mustache. As he sort of like walks up and begins like aggressively signing me like, is everything okay? Like, is everything fine? Are we okay?
Do you know if Miss Genevieve knows anything about the Barricadia or portals or high-level
The what?
magic? Barricadia?
I mean, that would be a question for her. I don't know what that is, so I would be hard-pressed to tell you if she knows.
Do you know if she knows any high-level magicians?
Not that I know of. Though a large part of her, private practices, like personal dealings and such, in which I attend some of which, but like a lot of it is, just sort of her, and I stand outside of the room to make sure nothing happens.
Did you tell him that Saradoth and Delphi went missing through a portal and that we were in the place? Because I'm assuming they're speaking sign language, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell them about what just happened that day.
She sort of like looks very much surprised and is like, well, I'm sad to hear that. I mean, I guess that's less money out of Our Lady's pockets at the end of the day, but that's still but, like,
Percy's not relaying this to the rest of us.
But like, that's unfortunate. They seemed like decent people at the very least, and people who we would have probably hired again.
Is Emily Cordelia still in town?
You guys don't know?
Would I know where she's staying?
You would assume probably the manor.
Can I go to the manor? I don't have any more questions for them, so if they want to follow us.
Yeah.
I assume Tiny will come with us.
Yeah. Talison's also gonna tail behind you. You see he goes downstairs and like Shness is like, alright, we are shutting down for the night. Everybody get out. I know early closing. We'll be open back soon. Get out. And you see everybody just sort of like looks very shocked at the fact that this party was going very strong. Essentially like given the occasion of the fact that the kidnapped town members got returned. Everybody's in like high spirits, good moods. Lots of it. Ale and drink have been shared around. A lot of it free on the hand of Taliesin, who doesn't pay for the tavern's alcohol. You can see that when they come down and sort of like briskly issue everybody out, a lot of people like seem kind of upset about it, but also nobody's gonna complain with Taliesin because
Percy's just standing behind him, just staring with the honey badger on his shoulder.
So everybody sort of gets dismissed, and then as you guys walk out, Taliesin locks up the dancing dragon, which is odd because this is the first time you've ever seen the dancing dragon actually locked. Because at the very least, if they're gone, usually there's a mirage of them still serving to people. Cool. So you guys head to Cordelia Manor?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Hello everyone, this is Morgan, the DM for the Butterflies of Fortune podcast. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you for listening up to this point in the episode, and we are extremely grateful for all of your support. Next up, I would like to say that this spot will hopefully in the future be filled out with a sponsor segment, but for right now we don't have any, so it will just be me talking to you guys. This is a lovely little passion project me and some friends have been working on, which is pretty low budget as most of us are still in college or freshly out, so I hope you guys will sit with us while we get our audio figured out. Hopefully in the future it will be a lot more balanced and clean. In the descriptions below you should be able to find a link to our Discord where you guys will be able to get in more direct contact with us, as well as links to our social media, which will be able to see more exclusive content related to the podcast. Additionally, linked in the description, there should be credits for any artists who have helped us with our project come to life. I hope you guys enjoy watching the rest of the episode, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
To an hour. You guys had found the extra hidden ruins in Sprigborough, the ones that you guys had been sent here to find. You encountered a venerated one for the first time. You guys, for the first time, saw what a Diomachia truly feels like to be in the presence of, as it was snatched away by Queen Cordelia before teleporting out to an unknown destination. The venerated one then woke up, had a short conversation with you guys, and then began to walk across this very large chamber, at which point you guys followed it through a portal into what seemingly looked like an infinite library on the other side. And at this time, Charlie, I'm going to need you to step out for a second. As you approach this portal, you see this infinite stretching library falling out beneath you. As you begin to step through the portal, you notice a distinct difference than the teleportation that you had just encountered, in which you are going from one location on the same plane of existence to another, in which you are essentially, your physical form is being displaced as well as your soul, is this horrific wrenching of your body from one place in space to another. This instead feels like the opposite. It feels like you are simply walking through a doorframe, as the physical space beyond this hypothetical doorframe, you can definitely feel is different in nature than the one you are at. So you can recognize that you're not on the same plane of existence, but as you are taking a step through, everything goes black for a second. As you begin to step through, everything goes stark cold in your body as you recognize a familiar voice in your head.
Oh, fuck off!
Where do you think you're going?
I don't know!
You don't know?
Yeah, listen, you didn't help me before, so you can piss the fuck off. How about that? I'm angry at you if you couldn't tell.
That's fine with me.
Uh-huh.
So you just stepped through a portal without knowing where it was going to.
Yeah, pretty much. I did okay, it's probably the same situation where I ended up in this deal with you living in my head rent-free. Mm-hmm. Who gives a fuck? Not me.
Interesting. And as this blackness starts to fade from your vision, you, as you're stepping through, can sort of see this thin seam line of a crack going through this triangular shape that the portal had opened in the arching door frame of the chamber that you guys had entered. And you can see the weird fracture where these two universes are being pulled together and fused at the seams. And you can see just very small tendrils of darkness seep their way out for a second before the seams close back over it and is cut off.
I'm gonna flip it off as it goes on. So it didn't follow me in? Don't shrug at me, it's so rude.
You guys both step through this tear in space. Delphi, as I described to Saradoth a moment before, as you step through this, it does not feel the same as the teleportation that you had just gone through. It feels distinctly different in the fact that you can recognize that you are not being displaced in space. The planes themselves are being drawn together for you to step through them like a doorway. As you step from this dark, echoey chamber that its magical essence had just been sapped away as Quinn teleported out with the crown of the forest, you guys step into an extremely well-lit labyrinth of bookshelves. As you guys look about yourselves, you see a rather confusing sight. As you look around, you see bookshelves of all different kinds. Some look like they're dated from your era, some look like they're from the past, some from the future, of all different shapes and sizes. You see leather tomes bound of all different types in different ages. You see some that look like they are impossibly old, and some looking like they were bound just the other day. You see rolls of parchment stacked on triangular bookshelves wrapped in cordage that looks like it's slowly deteriorating, as well as you see weird panes of glass with light flickering across them. As you guys are walking through this shifting perambula of various types of walls of different kinds of literature, what are you guys doing as you're following this thing?
I look pissed. I walk through the portal, and I just look pissed.
I mean, I gotta say, Delphi's pretty pissed too.
I don't really know what to do with myself right now. I think there was we can't do anything. This sucks. This is the only thing I can think of doing. It's a crazy option. And then I think she's thinking, like, what did we do? Maybe.
Honestly, expected the rest of all of us.
Yeah.
As soon as you step fully through, the gate shuts behind you. And as you guys look back, you can also see this library stretching infinitely behind you as well.
Oh, God. I mean, that's a true reaction.
How do they put books back? Is there like, I don't know.
I feel like so far there's no place right now to check them out.
Do you think it's alphabetized?
God, there's got to be some kind. That's a good question. There's got to be some kind of sorting system.
Like, is this the S section?
Where did the dude go?
And as you say that and look around, throughout this conversation, you can just hear the slow ting, ting, ting of harsh metal footsteps clashing against the marble polished floor of this library as you guys look towards this thing, as the once rusted, encrusted veneer that had sort of enveloped this entire metal being begins to slowly fade away as it walks and it sort of shrugs its shoulders, waves its arm, and a almost monk-style robe begins to form over it in a sort of gradient, apparating pattern as it just continues to walk off, seemingly in a direction.
He's wearing like a monk robe?
Yeah,
Is like
dark, like brown monk robe.
Is like all the stuff around his head gone too? Like, do we see a human face behind him now, or
Still metal.
He's still got the whole like staghorn?
So that was the crown that disappeared. No.
Oh, okay.
I think we should see where this guy's going. Probably.
No, we have nothing. It's not like we can go back.
Right, and like if he woke up, I feel like there's a reason. He woke up for a reason, probably from all that stuff being gone.
You think we'll still get paid when we get back?
At this point, I want to say if we make it back. I don't personally know how to like mesh worlds together.
I'm gonna try using my messaging stone.
Can we follow along the guy while we're talking?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Hey guys, how you been? I heard about that explosion. Sucks. Be back soon. Maybe I can help out. Have fun.
Delphi says hi.
I need to look up a ruling for something. You can send the message across any distance and even to other planes of existence, but if the target is on a different plane than you, there's a 5% chance that the message will not arrive. So roll a D100 for me.
God, did I even pull one out? You never need those, a D100. I did.
I always keep at least one out just in case.
Because that's a percentage.
Yeah.
72.
72.
That's pretty good. That's a good number.
Thanks, I guess. I'll see you when you get back. I hope you're having a good time. Fucking with the rich folk.
Who is this?
Come back safe.
You wouldn't know.
I don't know what this says.
Oh, you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't?
Mm-mm.
You get that back?
Nice.
I thought we were talking to the gang.
No, I don't have a messaging stone with them.
Oh, no.
Oh, just for like, I don't know, recording's sake. A messaging stone is just a little earpiece, a stone earpiece that I put in my ear that I can activate from there.
Like a little just like comm system.
It's kind of like an AirPod, but still.
Where that happens is you guys follow the steely footsteps of this thing walking amongst endless corridors and books.
Can you read?
No.
Oh.
No.
Is there anything you would like to look up? I can read it for you.
If they've got any picture books with plants in them.
Well, I mean,
I'm picking up names. I'm starting to pick it up. Just from, like, sight recognition.
I mean, if we're stuck here, I can always teach you, but I think we'll starve eventually.
I think
we can learn to eat paper.
I feel like we can't just settle. I feel like we can't just settle here. We gotta...
Wait, is this everything ever written ever?
I feel like that's what I'm thinking.
So, like, something I drew when I was, like, 2 would end up here?
What would you call it? What are the parameters?
They just didn't...
Are they, like, written works?
Is it, like...
Or, like, any kind of pen to paper, anything?
What if
I don't see loose papers around here.
Yeah, what if I, like...
bound.
Drew a dot? Would it end up here?
I don't feel like... Well, it's a turtle. I don't know. Maybe they got, like, a loose...
I mean, I have a very important question. Do you guys want to continue following this thing, or do you want to try and fuck around and figure out what the hell this library is about?
I feel like if we... Personally, I feel like if we lose this thing, we're never going to find him again in here.
That's true. We can always come back to the library.
Right. That's my thinking. And where is he going? Because he had just all his power and crown stolen from him, so what's his plan now? Why is he awake?
I'm going to ask him.
He has such a purpose.
I'm going to ask him. Hey,
The walking stops.
That's all it is.
Just a question, sir. Ma'am, Sir, robot,
My name is Tyros.
Tyros. Oh, that's cool.
You didn't look like a Tyros with all the metal.
I don't think anybody looks like anything if we try hard.
Tyros?
Yes.
Sorry, that was a question.
So if anybody writes anything, does it end up here? Is that like if I drew a dot on a piece of paper, would it end up here, or is it like...
How much do you all know about the planes?
Nothing. I mean, the world ended, so...
What?
Remember, like, the world, like, kind of fucking exploded, so, like, I don't know.
Well, there was, like, my plane. There's, like, 2 of them.
The Feywild, I presume.
I think it's the astral.
But somebody messed with it, so, like, it was doing its own thing, but we were going back and forth, and then somebody messed with it, and then they kind of collided. It caused, like, this huge, big thing, but something tells me that was, like, a little blip in your history.
I have been along for a very long time. I must say I'm not very keen to the last, I don't know how long of history. That's why I came here to figure out.
What happened to you last?
I mean, was the world like a desert yet?
Yeah, what do you remember?
There were endless plains of sand stretching as far as I could see, so I maintained my post on my throne. And then everything went dark, and I woke up to see you all with my most prized possession gone.
Who's you all?
To be fair, she betrayed us. We were trying to...
I am aware that you are not responsible for that. I do not think any of you have the power to take what was mine.
Well, that's a little hurtful.
And also, we don't
How
really
did
know
she
what
take it?
you are.
What does that mean? Wait, how did she take it?
Oh, that's true.
What do you mean?
What are the conditions? Powerful enough. What did she have that... We didn't think she had any magic this whole time.
You didn't think that sorceress had any magic at all?
She was hiding it. Like, it was all... Like, there was nothing there. We've known her for how long?
Interesting.
A week?
Sounds worse when you put it out in the air, you know. Let the universe hear it, but...
This is a plane called the library. It has every piece of knowledge that has ever or will ever be written in any universe/reality that has ever existed. So yes, if you're looking for something, you can find it here. If you scribble a dot on a piece of paper, it will be here amongst the shelves. If you write...
Is that considered an aspect of knowledge?
There's going to be so much smut here. Oh my god.
Don't be like, let's sweat.
Don't even ask. Don't. I'm not
You have to
explaining it
know
you.
if you're that old.
I'm not giving you the talk, sir.
The talk.
Okay. I'll turn around. And the footsteps will continue.
Where are
We
you
have more
going?
questions.
We
What
could,
else do you have to do? That's
we could
actually a good question. What else do you have to do? Like are we
What else
keeping you from anything?
Do I have to? I mean, you're not capable of keeping me from anything, but I.
Out of politeness. What's your objective?
I'm simply looking for the god of this world.
Can we come with you?
You're welcome to if you want.
Score. Yes. I mean, we could also fill you in on some stuff. We've been living it.
We've got like a good. I got like 20 of the past years.
I don't know.
I don't know.
How old am I? I don't know.
You see this creature squint its eyes at you for a second. Go. Just sort of like nod for you guys to follow and continues walking. So, what has happened in the past since all of the plains of sand was all that existed?
So we can't tell you all of that. We'll have to outsource. But we know from when, like, I don't know. Well, maybe when it went dark was when it happened.
Well, I know, like, the city that came from basically the ashes was Reyna. The city of Reyna.
Do you think when it went dark
The
for him?
goddess?
No, just the city.
Named after the goddess.
Oh, was it?
We have a big tree of her, right? Right.
Cool.
Yeah. Have you not been to Reyna? You haven't been to Reyna.
I lived in a dirt hole.
You should come visit. We have a beautiful spot. You should come visit.
There's this place called The Crack in the Strip.
You should not go visit.
No, it's great.
You got that backwards. The strip is in the crack.
I'm sorry, my bad. Listen,
How could you get that mixed up?
it's okay.
You live there.
Listen, and they have these things where we race these, like, really cool vehicles, right? It's so fun.
Yes.
They're a bit dangerous.
Oh, it's not that dangerous.
We have a beautiful coffee shop that our racist friend can whip up a good little latte for you.
Was that supposed to sound appealing?
Yes. It's more so it was a warning, just so that you weren't, like, if you were to visit, you wouldn't be scared by anything you might hear. You should be prepared for it.
Well, that's a strange one.
We're correcting it.
Gotcha.
It's a work in progress.
Okay, so there's now a city named after the patron goddess of the weave, and there's a coffee shop owned by a racist.
No, the
There's
racist just
a
works there.
place called the Strip.
Racist just works there.
Those are two separate places.
Yeah.
I'm from the Strip.
It has never been to Reyna. I've been to the Crack once. I don't think we visited the
But there's, like, all the families, right? That, like, I don't know, like, run the place or something. But then there's, like, the Grand Radiance, who's, like, kind of in charge.
Mm-hmm. But let me
Picked
think
out
of the
by the
history.
god.
So I'm thinking when things went dark for you, maybe that's when
Reyna probably was the
thing
first
happened.
big city that got together. So it's probably...
But before that, because it was before, right? It's not deserts anymore. It's all trees. It used to be deserts. So there was like a huge. There was I don't know if he knows about the falling out. What do we call it?
Well, like,
The collapse.
the sand
Oh,
was
that's
when
what
everything collapsed. So I think it was, like, right after.
It was right after everything collapsed.
We're trying to figure out where in history you were at. We don't want to, like, have
Do you remember
miss
the collapse?
The collapse
I
of the Veils?
remember
For the Veil?
a lot of things. I remember grand empires. I remember being seated at the heart of Valaris. I remember
Valaris.
everything changing.
Valaris is lost.
I've gathered.
Was that where you were?
Yes.
We found it.
Oh, really?
We found Valaris.
I mean, I feel like we could have picked up on that from finding Diamachia there, but to have it confirmed. We've been looking for Valaris for a while.
Well, okay.
It's been lost for a long time.
I do want to inform you how bad it is that she got her hands on the Diamachia.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were trying to get it for the reason of, we didn't know there was a protector of it in general. We just gathered there's a group of people who are trying to take over the Grand Radiance and Reina by using the Diamachias. So we're trying to get them first before they do. We didn't know she was working for them. Or we don't even know if she is working for them.
She's just wearing a blue robe. She's wearing a blue robe.
But she could be working for somebody else.
And disguise herself? Like, double? I mean, that would be pretty good. To, like, double disguise yourself. Like, disguise yourself as a civilian first, and then disguise your like, civilian, so you're like, oh, I'm the Arcadia. But then you're actually, so that would be pretty good. But do we think she went that far? Well, we suspected her of the Barricadia at first. I feel like we need to go with what our instinct was. We just couldn't prove it.
The people who were trying to take over Reina were the Lord's
He's just
family.
like watching.
It was the Lord family that was trying to take over Reina. That one family that like runs a portion of Reina. They were trying to take over all of Reina.
Do you think it's the Cordelius?
Yeah, the Cordelius. That was who was.
They're trying to take over Reina?
That's why I sent that note, like, to somebody who could help.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
That's what they wanted to do with her?
They wanted the Diamachia to take over Reina so that they could have, like, How'd
you figure this out?
Because that was what was in the letter.
Oh, I can't read.
I'm sorry.
Do you know the status of my 12 siblings?
Who are they?
They're siblings? There's more?
I mean, there were 13 of us.
Did each of you have a crown or, like, a special item?
We each were given a relic by the gods, one each. I was gifted the crown of the forest by Titania. That was my charge. Yes.
Crown of the forest, I wanted that.
I actually have a list of all the stuff.
I hate that she has it.
Excuse me while I go through my tea-spilled notes.
So there's 13.
It's not in here. It's okay.
13 of y'all and 13 Diamachia.
So just a recap for you guys, because I know this was a little while ago. The Diamachia was a set of 13 relics gifted to a race of individuals called the Warforged, of which there were 13 that were specifically crafted by the gods to wield these artifacts.
What was y'all's job?
To keep balance.
Gained by the gods, though. It was a pretty important job.
I guess at the very least it was at least only 11 left last time I checked.
What happened to the other two?
Right.
Well, I'm the 13th. The 12th was... How? So you guys know nothing.
Nothing. No, this is lost knowledge.
Okay, before the collapse, we have no knowledge of before the collapse.
Guarantee the darkening.
Nothing.
The darkening was the collapse. Guarantee it.
So, like, you guys... We didn't know you would be in there. We just thought the relics would just be in the room by themselves, unprotected. And that's why we went there to go get them.
I think an artifact that important would be
the whole world collapsed. We don't know, like, what would still be working or what was salvaged or, like...
How long has it been since things have been returned?
Like 800 years?
800 years? Almost.
Then you see some, like...
We have the last 20?
Some steam comes out of, like,
No.
a few different spots.
Why are you so sad?
As a big size take.
He's probably frustrated.
So you know nothing of the world before.
Right. You could tell us, though. You could tell us and help wake up your brothers.
We do.
Or your sisters.
The ruins. We try to salvage the ruins and get the books from those, but a lot of the books are either corrupted or ruined because it's books.
We did the best with what we could to try and figure it out, but probably it would have taken a very well maintained and extensive record for someone to like keep up with the past 800 years, and that wasn't done.
Reina's the oldest city we have,
and probably the oldest books in Reina. How old is it? How old is Reina?
You would talk about like 800 years. It was started 3 years after the collapse.
It was like right after the collapse. Reina is the oldest city.
And like even like the really old books that tell about what happened in Reina, like right after the collapse, those are probably like really, really safely protected.
He sort of like pauses for a second, goes up to one of the shelves, picks a leather book that is blue stained and has some like golden filigree and ornamentation on it. Flips open to a page, shuts it back, and hands it to you guys. And is like, this should help you and what you need to know.
Like before?
Keep walking.
What? Oh,
Hey, we're coming. We're still coming.
this is so. Do you know how much she'll pay us for this?
No, we have to like this is bigger. Like yes, we'll get paid for it. Who's she? Genevieve?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is pretty big though. This is like this. We may have the only copy of this.
I bet I'll be able to buy a house in the strip with this.
Think we gotta think bigger, start off. You gotta read it.
Oh yeah, you can't read. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna crack it open.
How long is this walk gonna be?
You crack it open to see empty pages that, as you open it and flip through, the entire book is empty. And as you leaf back through to the first page, you see what looks to be the handwriting of somebody begin to fill out the page that you are reading.
Oh, this is cool. This is a diary?
This
isn't a book. It's not a book, because it's not like...
The words that appear
typed.
come as follows. A crown of golden thorns was placed on the head of Tyros by the goddess Titania, giving him the ability to bend nature itself to his steely whim, summoning groups of ancient beasts in communing with the very earth itself. A necklace of clay beads, each carved with symbols older than time itself, was draped around the neck of Eris by the goddess Urana, who used his power to bridge the gap between language and its powers of ultimate restoration to raise the dead. Heavy gloves made of fire and earth that could crush empires were slipped onto the hands of Archon by the gods of Nebris, allowing him to shake the very ground with the weight of his steps. A sword heavier than mountains was placed in the hands of Ais by the goddess Morgera, growing ever heavier as it drew the life from those who were unfortunate enough to come into contact with his edge. A chalice of sanguine ruby was handed to Ymir by the goddess Osui, its liquid only drunk by those believed to be champions of the powers of be. The blessing it gives equally outweighed by its costs. A pendant with an eye that has seen all there is to see was bestowed upon Fola by Rysius, giving her powers of divination beyond comprehension. A revolver, as silent as a quiet whisper, was holstered at the side of Marna by the goddess Rylos, allowing her to store spells to be discharged at a moment's notice. The finest robe ever made, woven of pure power and authority, was laid on the shoulders of Axia by the goddess Odacia, the rulers of magic, now at her command. A silver spear, mightier than the heavens, was gifted to Azura by the goddess Eros, giving them the ability to strike down those who stand against them with the full might of the gods. A staff that holds the sky itself was bestowed upon Arthin by the god Zemus, opening up the worlds beyond with the snap of a finger. The sharpest blades ever wielded, made from shadow and death, were granted to Allura by the goddess Neone, giving her dominion over destruction and chaos. A shield of metal unknown to mortals, wielding a shifting pattern of tessellating shapes, was given to Gara by the goddess Aviva, unlocking the ability to see the true nature of things, exposing what was underneath. A circlet of silver as fine as spider silk, adorned with a deep blue sapphire, was laid on the head of Diara by the goddess Reyna, giving her the ability to use the weave to an immeasurable extent. And that is what pops up at first. It seems like a almost sort of like bedtime story, seeming like cadence to it in the writing of it. Seems like a folklore or legend sort of aspect that knowing the fact that you have the names and sort of the associations of the Diamachia, that this is a tale that gives you some more details about those. And on that note, I need you to make a history check, and you can ask your question.
What came after the staff? I'm so sorry.
After the staff was the sharpest blades ever wielded, the blades of Neone.
And what did they do?
What the tale says is that it gave the wielder dominion over destruction and chaos.
This would have been
A 7?
7.
Oh, actually, I forgot to say you would do this with advantage.
Yes, and I'm not using that one again. Nat 20! Nat 20! Nat 20! I lost my mind.
That's crazy.
I'm so excited. History check.
You would recognize 2 of these descriptions. The first one, you recognize the description of a pendant of an eye that has seen all that there is to be seen. You know that you've seen a woman with this necklace around her neck. The same woman that holds a silver spear that has, within the past 200 years, become the moniker of her family crest, the Maximilia family.
We're fucked.
I recognize an item. Did you read it out loud?
Yes.
Yes, I should read it out loud. Can I make an insight check if I recognize it? I do believe. Do I just say it?
Go for it.
I do believe I've recognized the revolver.
Go for it.
Maybe not in its full glory. Am I rolling for it?
Yeah.
To see if Delphi recognizes it?
Go for it.
Oh. Well, I recognized
You
it.
should use the one I used.
Should I use the big boy? Can I use the big boy? No.
For the next roll, you can use
What was it? What am I rolling with? It's wisdom, insight,
Yeah.
right? Perception.
I would say like perception or history, either of those two.
I'm going perception. So I'm going to turn that 9 into a 17.
Because it sounds like if you're trying to catch somebody lying.
Yeah.
You can tell me what you think, and I will tell you if you can make that connection.
I do believe I've seen Percy with this revolver. And it's not quite in its full glory, but we know it's been broken. And Percy has like weird magical outbursts with this weapon that's supposed to store spells and power.
You do recall a set of initials on the handle of the revolver that Percy showed you all, having a T and a W, which do line up with the description of the Whisper, one of the Diamachia.
The whisper.
Ursula just fucking casually has one of the...
That's probably why his magic's so funky. That's why his magic's so funky. We should just tell him.
That's so wild.
Do you think he knows? He's been trying to fix it, but I didn't know if it was...
I was trying to fix it.
Oh, you were trying to fix it?
Yeah.
I thought Percy was trying to fix it.
Percy gave it to me to fix.
Oh. Do you think Percy knows, though? What he's trying to fix?
You think Percy...
We have one. Just turn into the guy. We have one of these.
One of
I think we have the
the
revolver.
Diamachia, the Whisper.
Yeah.
It's broken.
You have it right now?
No.
No. One of the other ones in the room had it.
The group that we were split up from.
Which one?
The Whisper? Oh, which one?
Which, yes.
Yeah.
The GIF?
Yeah.
The GIF.
I was gonna say
He's our best
Percival, but
He's
then I
our
realized
best armor.
I was gonna say Percival, but I realized you wouldn't know who Percival is.
What's the problem with that?
Means, well, if it's not with my sister Marna, I at the very least assume that she fell to an ill fate.
Or she could have ended up like you, like somebody just took it and she woke up.
Would she have woken up? Like, would you all wake up if your item's taken? Or she could have misplaced it before the collapse. Yeah.
So I mean, if you gave us a way to contact you, if we ever get back to them, we could totally
No, you should come with us.
Yeah, you could come with us. It would be a great field
We
study.
can teach you stuff. We have a
I
dragon.
can find everything I need here.
You don't want a field study of how the world's changed since you've gotten awake in 800 years?
We can take you to the crack.
I can read everything that I need to here.
That's blunt.
You could help us check on your brothers and sisters, though. It's gonna be real. It was real hard getting to you, just so you know. Like, just to you. I don't even remember how we did it at this
You were like
point.
underground.
Way underground.
You
The
were
rest of them
American.
are probably also all underground. They're gonna be really difficult to locate.
A family of bears was living on your teleportation thing.
Yeah, that's the only way to get to your place. What was that about? Was it supposed to be like that? Or did someone else do that?
I don't know what you mean.
It had to have been someone else. It couldn't have been them. They wouldn't have pre-established teleportation runes above their... Were you at ground level?
Last I was aware, yes.
Yeah.
No, you're way down there.
Someone put those teleportation runes there. Delphi's using her plus 5 wisdom right now.
I don't know, but bears live in there now. And that's the only way we got to you. So
They're my friends.
I don't think any book will say any of that. Because it's never been written that bears live on teleportation circles.
Yeah. Good point. There's some mysteries here. People are not writing this stuff down. I'm going to tell you right now.
What if we, to communicate with him, what if we had a book that we wrote stuff to you as we learned it? Updates, if we found shit.
I think
Work as long
think
as
it
you
would
write
be-
it down, it will be here.
I think it'd be mutually beneficial for him to come with us, though. What's your name, sir?
Tyros.
Oh, venerated one. Tyros, sorry, we asked you not.
Are you sad?
I said, oh, venerated one. That's better. It's better than nothing.
Sad is a
I was trying to make a joke.
strange word.
Tear.
That wasn't a funny joke.
You know the jokes are. This guy probably knows all the best jokes in the world.
What's the best joke you've ever read in this library?
Well, I've never been here myself outside of right now. I've never had the need to.
Is that the first time you come here?
Yes.
You just
And you're
casually opened it?
And you're ready to, shut yourself in to this one place for, God knows how long. Literally.
I mean, I'm also going to speak to Rysius, the god of the library. It's
Pricey.
There's a god here.
But he's just the god of the library.
That's where I'm going.
That's what he told us.
Oh, God. Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I ask you?
I don't think you can.
Can I ask you for help for something real quick?
What?
How do we find things in here?
How do you find things?
If we just wanted to look something up.
It's your catalog system.
Is it alphabetical?
Time? No, it's not time.
You should sort of know them. Do you not have that?
Well, what if it's 4 miles down that way, though?
I mean, what do you want to know?
How do you know what you don't know? We
You
haven't
ask
read,
a question and the library's here's the book.
we haven't read them yet.
I mean, I entered Rysius' domain in thought I need to find Rysius, and I can imagine the path through the library. That's what I've been following. Can you not
Can we do that?
see that?
Can we do
Picture your favorite childhood drawing.
I don't have any of those. I don't think
either.
we had crayons.
What's the first thing you wrote on a paper? Anything on a paper. Anything that you could visualize to see if it works for us. I haven't written
blueprints. I'm gonna look up blueprints.
You sit there and try and imagine blueprints
My blueprints.
for something that you are wanting to build. You can think of them, but you're not getting any sense of a direction towards
Just
anything.
grab a book and see if that I pull it out and my blueprints.
It's just a random book. It's Catcher in the Rye, actually.
What the fuck?
So
What is this dumb shit?
So you can't find it.
No.
We're lost in here. We can't find anything without you.
Yeah, please don't leave us. This is very scary.
This place is eternal.
Yes. Like, could you not? I mean,
We could walk here until we die.
Wait, do you think? Wait, what if this god didn't survive the fall? What if this god didn't survive the fall? Because then nothing's been updated for the last 800 years.
well,
Has nothing been updated?
and then he
Are new things
sort
coming
of
in?
looks around and it just sort of points at, like, if Rysius would have fallen, this plane would no longer exist.
Oh. What if he's not been recording things for the last 800 years, though? Because my blueprints aren't here.
Or you just can't find them. You don't have the link. Maybe he has the link.
What if I'm stupid?
Oh,
I'm beginning to question that myself.
Oh, that's quite rude, sir.
All the answers for the things that you will probably ever need questions answered for should be in that book. And he points towards the book. Like,
In this one?
yes.
But I
and
wanna
you
ask
sort
her
of
a
look
question.
in it again and it's blank. The thing that you had originally written, or not written, but the original thing that had been written in this is gone. And something else is written in there.
it changed.
Give me
That was
secrets.
different.
You see a very short passage begin to fill in as you had sort of been asking him, like, did he know about the history of what had been going on? As you see a little blurb fill in saying, these were the gifts given to those who would become to be known as the venerated ones. Being crafted by the gods themselves and given unmatched powers, they were worshipped like gods themselves. Grand temples were built to be their place of rest, and festivals were held in their honor. As they spread out across the 13 nations of Onrelica, they brought balance and prosperity. Each nation had equal power, carefully protected by divine arbiters who were entrusted with the Diamachia. This peace lasted for thousands of years before a group from the nation of Valaris assassinated Azura, the venerated one residing in Theria. This broke the taboo of attacking a venerated one, sparking a war that changed Onrelica forever as the nations fought over these divine artifacts that were created to protect them.
When was this?
You get the sense that this is describing something that happened before the collapse.
I wanted to ask something more personal.
Bold.
If
Because it may be
This is-
about before the collapse.
books can be a rather fickle thing from here, sometimes they'll give you answers, sometimes they won't.
But how do I ask something of the library? How do I go, library, I would like to look this up, please?
I think that's where that guy was talking about his little connection. Like, he just thinks of it. And
Like I said, I'm not necessarily sure what to tell you. I just think of the thing I'm looking for, and it's just the path appears.
Well, can you look something up for me? Because I think I'm deficient in that department.
I mean, I'm a little bit busy right now.
Fair. What are you busy doing?
I need to find Rysius.
You know what?
To
You can
him.
probably answer my question.
that's true.
He just like own the fucking library. The library.
Yeah. I got some questions.
So you guys essentially just following him until he gets to his objective.
Yeah, can we chat with him awkwardly?
Yeah.
What color's your toothbrush?
Do you brush your teeth? He hasn't brushed his teeth in like 800 years.
Oh.
Be insensitive.
I don't have teeth.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
that's probably a
I don't eat. Like, I don't. That's not a.
I'm sorry.
a thing.
So was all that stuff you were wearing just like armor on top of your normal clothes?
I wouldn't describe it as armor. It was more like crust.
Yeah,
I assume
That was
existing.
metallic.
Man needs a bath.
I thought it was.
It was like a bunch of rust and dirt and muck from sitting on.
I thought he had like metal, like rusted metal.
I mean, he is metal. It had just rusted over, and all of that fell off once he entered here.
Are all of your siblings like you?
What do you mean by that?
I've never seen anyone like you in my life. Have you?
I had assumed, given your bold reaction.
You've seen like
to
mechanical
seeing me.
people.
Yes, we're a race called the Warforged. There's only 13 of us.
That's-
We're Yeah,
There was only 13 total ever.
Yes.
Like, you didn't have, like, cousins.
No, just us. We were,
I don't know, like,
we were specifically
family.
made by the gods to wield the Diamokia. That is our purpose. That is why we exist.
Do you feel things?
What do you mean?
Do you feel, like, feelings?
Do you like jokes?
He wants to be a real boy.
I mean, I guess
She didn't say that out loud. That was not, she didn't make a Pinocchio reference.
I guess it depends on if the joke is tasteful or not.
What is a tasteful imply?
You can give us a joke. Give us your best joke.
We're all adults here.
I don't do jokes.
You're just so he must not have feelings. Do you find things funny? Ever? Like, ever?
Do you laugh on the inside only?
Okay,
Something's comical.
just checking. When you mean funny, you mean the like, ha 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 thing, right?
Don't do that again. Don't do it again. I don't
Did
want to
I
make...
do it wrong?
Yeah. You would scare children in our world. But that's okay.
Okay.
Because you weren't made to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were all made for different purposes. You were made for a different purpose, and it was far greater than mine. So that's all these silly feelings, you know?
Yeah.
Anything else, or can we continue walking?
I assumed we were still.
I did too.
No, I turned around at the joke comment and was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna give attention to this thing now.
Oh, you're just talking.
What would you do if somebody, to save the world, you had to eat something?
Had to. What would happen if you ate
I
something?
don't think I'm physically capable of eating something. I don't have. I as far as I'm aware, living things have like digestive systems
Yeah.
in place. I don't
We, like, require them.
have that. I just have
So, like, the
a lot
mouth
of
is just, like, for aesthetics.
gears.
Well, the top.
But, like, you wouldn't have, you were, like, he could talk anyway. Yeah, he'd have, like, a little hole just out the side of his cheek that would just, like, the noise would come out. But
That'd be strange.
I assume that my appearance is for ease of those I interact with.
palpability.
What are gods like? Never seen one before. Should we be nervous? What should we do?
Depends on which one. Rycius can be a bit eclectic and
Love eclectic people.
odd. Very odd.
What if he's like the trash man?
Would he kill me if I defied him?
Ooh.
He's really venerated in our world. The trash man. He makes art for humans.
So you do
For
know about the
humanity.
venerated? You have like a new set of venerated ones?
It's more of like an honorary title.
He's very special to the community.
The glue, if you will.
Got it. So what were you saying?
Does he kill people for being disrespectful? Because I have an aversion to authority.
That depends.
You have to like he's a god. Like there's
I fear no god.
there's some authority there.
You should.
I'm feared.
Should I? Probably.
I
Do
fear.
I? No.
Can I give you some? Like for your sake?
I mean, I don't know.
If you
We
do
should
not
be on our
think
best
that-
behavior, Sarah.
If you do not think that you could hold your tongue, it might be best not to speak.
First time I met Genevieve, I tracked dirt in her house intentionally.
Genevieve being
Intentionally do that on purpose.
I did roll
Her
the
house
dust pile
was-
before I arrived
Your house is so pretty.
why would you do that?
because it was funny.
Ah ha ha ha. Was that better that time?
No, actually, no, it was wonderful. I enjoyed it heavily.
That's not the kind of humor that we all subscribe to. But
Did you actually get a tickle?
it's such a subjective thing
Did you-
nowadays.
A what?
A tickle.
Tickle him.
Tickle.
I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna tickle.
You want to go up to this thing?
I think she should roll an insight, not insight. Okay,
I'm gonna roll a vibe check to see if he like.
What's a good decision check? Is this a bad idea check?
Is this a good decision check? Go ahead and
Survival check.
Survival check.
No.
What do I add to that?
It's not a good decision.
I feel like wisdom's a good one.
I think if you attempt to do it, Delphi's gonna like run, like reach to stop.
Wisdom.
A 7.
A 7?
7.
I don't think it's the worst idea.
Tickle. I'm gonna go up and I'm just gonna like tickle a little bit.
Delphi like just to like yank her by the collar.
Him, you can hear like all of the mechanical movements inside moving, and as you approach, and like, what do you do? So, like,
I'm not gonna make it like sneaky. I'm gonna make it so he obviously sees. I'm not like threatening.
I just want to know what you're doing.
Tickle.
Are you just going up and wiggling your fingers at sides? Okay.
It's not very intimidating.
No.
Just you hear the strong creak of his metal neck as he just sort of looks down at you and it's just like, what are you doing?
That's when Delphi goes to grab her by the collar. She's like, stop! Get out of here! Quit!
I'm sorry.
I don't think he's doing this.
What way was that supposed to
tickle? That was a tickle.
Make me do the ah-ha-ha-ha.
Look,
thing.
let me demonstrate. Let me demonstrate. Tickle.
It's just reach.
That sounded like more shock and surprise and a little bit of fear.
It's terrifying.
Tickling is scary.
Because it makes you laugh.
But I thought it was supposed to be a funny...
It makes your body feel weird things.
It makes you laugh, but against your will.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
It's like a good feeling, like you're laughing, so it's good. But then like tickling you, like you want to get away from it, like you don't like it, like it doesn't feel good.
Both of you guys roll insight
checks.
checks.
You might see a little bit, just a little.
Sometimes if it's a good tickle, if it's a real good tickle.
We're harassing a god. I hope you know.
This isn't the god.
Hold on.
He's the venerated one.
6.
Oh no, this is insight?
Yeah.
Okay, 11 and 5.
So 16.
16. Saradoc, you have no idea. But Delphi, you definitely get the sense of like confusion on the aspect of like this being seems like they come from a history of being like a highly respected person, such as like for a real world application, like the Pope would be.
Yeah, right? Like you wouldn't go up and try and tickle this guy.
The interactions that people would have had with the venerated ones would be of one with like very reverence and respect in a very formal setting, and it's like they might have had a private life outside of that in which things were a little bit more casual, but most of their experiences was a very much like very strict set of rules with how people were supposed to act, and all of a sudden these two random people have rolled up and have given him the most strange like 15 minutes
I hope he enjoys
he's ever encountered.
I was gonna say, is he like uncomfortable, or is he just like
you don't get a sense of uncomfortableness, you just get a sense of
crossing boundaries or
utter pure confusion.
Mm-hmm. I'm writing down Saradoc tried to tickle God.
Technically not a god. The closest thing to a god.
One.
Yes.
I found the closest thing to a god, and my first instinct was to tickle him.
Tries/does tickle. Tickle.
And as you guys walk through this library, endless and seemingly ever-changing, as you guys can hear the scratching noises of the shelves being rearranged behind you and around you constantly, you begin to hear the scratching of a pen on parchment slowly grow louder and louder as you make your way through this puzzle of walls formed by literature and knowledge. And as you finally walk around a corner, you guys see the flat marble floors turn into a large staircase leading up to a massive desk, behind which sits a figure with a almost skull-like face protruding from a yellow shawl that has a body that can only be described to be made of reams of parchment starting in the torso region, stretching out and falling down this staircase. And you see that this being is fervently writing on scraps of paper and throwing them to the side, and you see that they are almost forming books in midair, and they are flying out into different areas of the library. And you hear him talking like, no, not good enough. No, we need to redo that. That's not how that happened. That's not exactly how that happened. No, it happened like this. No, that's not how that, no, that's wrong. And you see balling a piece of paper, throwing it into a small fire that's next to the desk. And you see it suddenly stops. And it looks up at you three.
Delphi goes, "Can I help?"
Who the hell are you?
Oh.
Come, up. Come on, I don't have all day. I'm writing. I have so much things to go.
This is a lot of stairs.
Quicker.
Stairs, sir.
Sprinting.
And the
Two
writing
stairs.
resumes as you guys are walking.
The crawl.
As Tylos makes like a rapid approaching up the stairs. He gets to the top of the stairs and gets on one knee and bows heavily.
We should probably do that.
Turnoff's not bowing.
And both of you guys
Delphi,
would feel...
Looks up.
Delphi, you definitely a lot more than Saradoth, as you have an innate connection to magic. Especially as somebody who has been around things of power, especially recently, given the fact that you've been in the presence of Diamachia, which is artifacts that are imbued with the power of the gods, on top of generally being around a Warforged, which is a specific being crafted by the gods to hold these things. You've been in the presence of both of these powers and have felt overwhelming magical energy coming from them. That pales in comparison to the energy that you feel right now in this area. It is something incomprehensible and unmeasurable.
I really wanted to file something right now.
Delphi wants to make a persuasion
what?
check.
You wanted to what? File something.
What?
Where?
File?
What is it? What do you want to file? Huh?
What?
What do you want to file?
What?
Where? When?
Yesterday?
Yesterday? Which is, when do you?
When are you? Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
When are you? Who are you? Where are you?
Sir, she missed.
Oh, right here.
She missed.
Before.
We have nothing to file. We have nothing on us. Well, that you would be interested in.
I mean, there's plenty on you. Delphi, Saradoth. Correct?
Yes.
Tyros, I know you. Why are you here?
Oh, we just followed him.
We got stuck here. Something. You know what happened. You must know what happened.
I mean, yes, but I want to hear it from you.
Okay, we found...
There's a difference between a history and not a biography, you know?
That's valid.
Yes.
I would love to know your side of things. I would. Can we exchange stories?
The scribbling continues. Go on, can I have all day?
Can we exchange stories?
you?
I'll tell you right now. So we were sent on a mission to find Valeris. Valeris is gone. We found Valeris, but not how we were expecting to find it. And when we found Valeris, we also found the Diamachia. And then, like, this girl who we thought was helping find Valeris with us, because she was just, like, not doing anything, she betrayed us. And we think she was with Barricade. Was she with Barricadia?
Was it
Quinn.
Quinn?
You know who betrayed us, yes.
Just continue talking.
Okay. I'll ask questions later. So she betrayed us, and then while she was betrayed, everything just happened so fast. While she betrayed us, he woke up and he was walking this direction and the temple was falling apart, and he was like, we weren't strong enough. We needed power to fix whatever had just happened, or answers. Yeah. And so this guy looked like he had answers, and we followed him, but the rest of the group didn't follow him, and we don't know if they're alive or dead, or if Quinn is Quinn, or if she works for the Barricadia, or if there's more Diamachia that we're in possession of or we're not in possession of, or if we can even get the Diamachias from the people who we know also have them. And we have questions.
Okay, thank you. And he waves his hand, and Sarah, you see as Delphi disappears. You're next.
What do you want from me?
I don't know. You said you had something to file, correct?
Where did I go?
No? Okay. Never mind then. And then waves, and both of you, at this weird halfway in between point of the teleportation that you had happen earlier and the spell in which you encountered from going from the plane that you guys are from to this library, feel like you're moving through space, but in this very odd, calming, protective bubble, as all of a sudden that bubble pops and you guys are standing on a stone plinth, and a large amount of auditory sensations overwhelm you as you look out and you see a vast, what looks like almost an alleyway, but that stretches infinitely upward, very similarly reminding you of how the crack is built, if only the crack was also an infinite space. And you see that this wall is lined with shops of all different types in natures. You hear people yelling about different types of food. You hear people yelling about different types of magical artifacts. You hear people trying to auction off random oddities that were found in different places throughout different times in the universe. And that is where we're going to end.
I didn't get to ask him to make me literate. He wouldn't listen.